Hello, um, welcome back to your sovereign soul. Thank you for coming and visiting our channel today. Today we're going to discuss something interesting, but before I do, just want to let you know that if you're looking for coaching, life coaching, transformational coaching, or narcissistic recovery, which means leaving your narcissist, having them left, you left them or they left you, myself or Adana are both coaches on yoursovereignsoul.com. And as well as we do healing, which is energy work through that. So if you're looking for virtual healing, you can click that as well. So let's just jump into it. When I got out of my narcissistic relationship the first time, I had only been with this person for 6 months prior, and it was like I was hit by a Mack truck. It did not make sense. The pull and the despair and all that stuff, and I couldn't quite figure it out. And I chanced upon something because I had left him, that talking about narcissistic, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is exactly what it is. I thought narcissistic people were just people who were like, they took too many selfies, or it was just kind of a phrase that people use to describe people who are kind of self-absorbed. But to realize there was actually these types of people on the planet, and I had experienced one, just blew my mind because it was so right on. And of course, I went back to the relationship because and I didn't know what I knew now, but the pull towards him was so great. He was like a drug. I had to have him back, even though I knew that he was bad for me. And I couldn't understand that. And I understand the trauma bond and all that type of stuff. And I get the psychological point of view on it, like I understand that. But and this is having experienced it myself and having spoke to other ones and having experienced narcissistic abuse a couple times in my life by different people, I can tell you that I have a firsthand knowledge of this situation. So I'm a business owner, and I would rather see on a resume, 10 years of experience rather than 2 years of school and no experience, having that job or whatever it is. So it's the same with narcissistic abuse. You can learn all about it, but it's all just intellectual. It's not an actual experience that you have experienced yourself. And until you've experienced it, and I don't wish it on anyone, it is just in your brain. It's a cognitive intelligence. And I get that that's important too. But I will tell you, having experienced it, it is a different thing altogether. And so this video essentially, or this topic briefly, is about the fact that what are they? What are they? Like, some people will say they are fragmented souls. Other people will say that these people were traumatized. Either they were the golden child or they were abused to some degree, and they kind of took on this sort of personality to protect itself. Some people will say they're demonic. Some people will say that there is like a program or consciousness that is attached to them. regardless, we will never know. But what I do know, having had experienced with them, and this may ruffle a few feathers, but again, I have experienced it traumatically. So these people have an evilness about them that is not quantifiable, and it makes no sense, and there's no need for it. So why would they need to be evil? It's one thing to protect yourself from a traumatic childhood, but to be knowingly evil and cruel to someone that you apparently love or are supposed to love, there's something off with that. There just is. It makes no sense. It makes no sense. There were times in my relationships where a particular person would almost glean pleasure off of seeing me in shock or pain or anguish or confusion. And I saw it on his face. It was almost glee. It was a look of deriving pleasure from my pain. That is evil. That's evil. That is not someone who is connected to a higher power. That is not someone that is empathetic or compassionate or caring. Sure, they can feign all those, and sometimes they may have that to a small degree. But when you are knowingly and intentionally and with the pleasure of seeking to harm someone and relishing that, I don't care what you say, it is evil. So whether that is a demon, a friggin', I've heard of everything. A consciousness, a program, whatever it is, or you could just be like, well, it's just a human that's evil. Sure, but they're still evil. And so I don't know what it is. For lack of a better word, I don't even want to put the energy out there, but lack of a better word, it is demonic. I don't know what else to say. It is moving away from God. Whether you believe in God, or a source, or the universe, it is moving away from light, and it is focused on darkness. I have never in my relationships wanted to do something and seeing pain or torture on someone's face, and I derived pleasure from it. There is something that is not right there. And so, and multiple times, if you're in pain or you're sick or whatever, and they are asking you for something inappropriate and you say no, and they don't care, and they keep asking you, almost you can sense a bit of jovialness from their tone. That's not right. So this video is just more of my own take on it. That there is something off there. To derive pleasure and energy from hurting someone that you love knowingly and with satisfaction, there is something wrong. And that is not part of a loving relationship. It's just not. So anyway, I don't know if you've ever experienced that yourself before, or if you have seen that. A lot of people talk about their eyes turn black. My person's eyes, yes, they got darker, but there was more of a smirk on their face, like a satisfied smirk of hurting you. And that is pretty scary. So I just want you to know that if you've experienced it, you're not alone. And I don't know what title we want to give to these people. If you even want to call them people, I don't know what they are. I don't know. I just know that if you were to call a human being someone who, you know, intends to do well and is loving and is kind, and that is what their general intention is, and that's what you would define a human as, then these people are not human. I don't know what they are. I don't know. I just know that you know what evil is because you feel it. And when it's living with you, it is a pretty scary thing, because you realize that it actually exists, and it's not in some far off place or in our government system or in another country. I mean, it is all those things, but it could just be sitting next to you on the couch, you know, after you made love to them and or took care of their children. And that's what's pretty scary. Anyway, just wanted to share that. I'm not sure if that will help you out with anything. But yeah, curious as to your comments. If you've experienced things that just don't make sense, where there is a satisfaction. And I'm not saying all this so we can indulge in it, because I don't want to give that energy too much. But really, I just want you to realize that you're not alone, that there's something going on, and perhaps us becoming or showing awareness to it, it will, once we shine the light on it, perhaps the darkness will go away. Anyway, I love you all. Peace out.